enforcing the attendance of witnesses, which will be done by someone new, and examine them on both, which I'm about to do, affirmation or otherwise. B, compelling the production of documents, as to say the committee can request for documents even during the inquiry. C, the issue of the commission or request to examine witnesses abroad. Even if you are not here, the committee has the power to request for examination. Now let me refer you to another specific provision that talks about contempt of parliament. Section 95 reads, any act or omission which obstructs or impedes parliament in the performance of its functions, or which obstructs or impedes any member or officer thereof in the discharge of his duties, or affronts the dignity of parliament, or which tends either directly or indirectly to produce short the result shall be a contempt of parliament. Next, which is 96. Talks about going and proceedings.
Okay, so we have accredited media houses in this parliament. The president and the president are you around? Or the executive? We have accredited media. I don't. Can we introduce ourselves?
AYV, Ezekiel from AYV.
Right.
I am Melvin Fijaman Saye. I work for Slick and Epic, and I also manage the parliamentary update group.
Only two. AYV, I don't see. I always use your room.
Yes.
Where is it an identification from AYV?
Today is Friday.
I am the official reporter of Sashko Parliament. It's just a camera operator. Seems to be outside.
Because we have always you with your PPs. So
yes, usually live. We are all like sorry about that.
Question that Rajman Kakama, usually to our police speaker, National Safety Staff.
Lukule Moses, reporter from Twitter Television Network, and the president for the Parliament Press Club.
Wow. Thank you very much. The reason why we ask, because we know for sure this parliament is guided by the constitution and the standing orders. We all know sections SO 75 of the standing orders, which are pretty much called publications. We don't want any media house to distort the fact here. That's why we have decided to open it. Please report the news here. And as a media house, you don't give opinions, you leave the opinions to the public to decide. You report the news here, and the public will make an opinion. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Minister.
Sorry again, Mr. Chairman. Members, with all due respect, I would like to make a very important observation.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, members, we also have our media team from the ministry.
Are they here?
Listen, we also have our media team from the ministry. The letter we got did not indicate that we are supposed to come here with a media team. Now there are guys here that went to my radio, said a lot of things about me, like the Melvin, he just reported directly. He said I was a joker. No, it's no place. He said I was a joker, and I asked for that name. I'm going to make an official proclamation. So we want to rely on the objectivity of this investigation. So while we're here, we never indicated to come on media team. I asked Mr. Chair, with all respect, that those who are not accredited are supposed to be here. To give us
Thank you, Mr. Minister. Mr. Minister, whatever any journalists have done, that is why we created the IMC Act. The IMC Act, I would advise that you take the necessary actions. If you feel extremely very aggrieved, this is parliament and this is a public hearing. But if you feel extremely very aggrieved on any news that has been aired against you, I know you get your protection from the IMC Act. We repealed the Part 5 of the Public Order Act, and we replace it with the IMC Act. Please go through the IMC Act and make, if you feel very strong that you'll be maligned. That's why I've said journalists should not be given opinions, but if they bring in the news here to the public and allow the public to make their own opinion. But they make opinions and bring the news together, so you even confuse the minds of the public. So for the purposes of this one, let us just see the news, the issues here. We are not even on our side, we are not making opinions, so asking the same questions. And at the end of the day, as a committee, we will decide the way forward. That's why I've said SO 75 is a premature publication. If you do anything against the standing orders, then you'll be held responsible as well. Mr. Minister, we have decided that the clerk, I just told the clerk that we are not putting your vote. We are not putting anybody on for the purposes of this. Mr. Minister, you bear the greatest responsibility of this agreement. This agreement was signed by your ministry. The agreement was signed by your ministry. That means you own this agreement. It was ratified by this parliament. And nobody should speak on this agreement rather than the Ministry of Works and Public Assets. So you are proposing an increase in the toll price. I know you have done your due diligence, you have read the agreements. Do you want to take us through? Do you want to take your members of parliament through?
Mr. Chair,
on the proposals and the agreements?
Mr. Chair. So that we can get it from the rear. This year, you present, of course, the old matter here that yes, we have to lay the foundation, and then probably I come in now, or probably after the DG's intervention, I come in. With that now, basic genesis of the lead for all and something that's not property. But if I come now to make my presentation, it's like putting, of course, for yours.
This is your agreement, Mr. Minister.
It is, but let these guys present their matter, and then the agreement comes in, because their presentation has to be tied up with the agreement. I don't want to really bring issues here. So after the solid presentation, I will now come in as minister to lead this for the facts.
As a state, we have an agreement between us and the CRS, represented by the Ministry of Works and SLR. The minister is saying he wants the contractors to start the ball rolling, and thereafter he'll furnish us with his own funds on why his proposal. Are we all in agreement here?
Yes, that's
yes. All in agreement.
Yeah.
That's the consensus. Mr. Contractor, you have convinced, you have approached the Ministry of Works on an increment of toll pricing. Do you want to take us through your agreement and what has necessitated your approach to the Ministry for an actual increment of toll?
Okay. Honorable Chairman, Honorable Members of Parliament, Honorable Minister of Works, Deputy Minister of Works, PGO SLRE, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning, and everybody. Thank you very much for providing us with this opportunity for the presentation. Firstly,
do you want to do a virtual presentation or you want to do it like this?
Pardon?
Because I saw there was a
Projector.
projector.
You want to use the projector?
Or you want to do a virtual? Do you want to do verbal or you want to do a virtual presentation?
Yeah, I can do that if you can prepare that.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. Let's see on virtual.
Right. Whatever you are comfortable with. And the media, please take notes so you don't disturb.
Pardon?
Yes, go ahead.
So go ahead or okay. So firstly, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all participants here for your long-standing understanding, support, and assistance to our company. As is known to all, CRSG is as a vital partner, not only a contractor, but also a vital partner of the government of Sierra Leone, has invested in constructing and operated the 62-kilometer long Wellington-Mashaka Highway. This presentation I'm going to give today will be a summarized presentation focused on the following aspects. The first one will be the benefits of the toll road. The second one will be the main challenges and the difficulties we are facing and the actions requested. The third one will be the justification of the toll tariff adjustment. So this newly built, well-maintained and safe highway has brought numerous benefits to the people of Sierra Leone. This project, as the first operational highway in Sierra Leone history, making the first time a company has engaged in infrastructure development in Sierra Leone through a PPP model, which is the world has a strong confidence in Sierra Leone and that PPP can survive and thrive in Sierra Leone. The road has become a hotspot for various countries to visit and learn from, and the road has simultaneously increased inter-government exchange and serves as a platform for Sierra Leone to showcase its level of national development. In particular, investors from Liberia, Ghana, Senegal, and Guinea, etc., have recently highly recognized and praised the accessibility of the road network in Sierra Leone. The successful construction and the standardized operation of the Wellington-Mashaka Highway have effectively contributed to the economic and social development, not only to the communities along the road corridor, but also to the whole nation. We can see more and more business opportunities emerging. We can see factories, we can see shops, we can see the development of industrial chains and the land appreciation along the roads. Moreover, the economic life, easy access to the medical facilities in Freetown, recreational journeys around the peninsula from the Waterloo access, and accessibility to other social facilities have been improved, not only for those living along this particular road corridor, but also for those living in our provinces who will travel to Freetown for different purposes. The project itself created more than 1,000 job opportunities directly. Tens of thousands of jobs are created because of economic benefits from the road corridor, which serves as an indirect job creation. The number is increasing every day. This project also provides a platform for human resource development and skill training. Reduction in travel time between Freetown and Mashaka. We should not forget just a few years ago it would take commuters 1 or 2 hours at the peak of traffic to travel from Freetown to Waterloo only. If we put ourselves in the shoes of an investor, the time spent in traffic jams alone from Jui to Waterloo is up to 3 hours. If you were an investor, will you still have confidence? The delay exhibited itself, it lost itself, but production time of communities, increased fuel consumption, increase in pollution, etc. Just a few years ago, the businessman could only cover 2 to 3 times a day from Freetown to Waterloo. Nowadays, the number has been increased to 7 to 10 times a day. The number of reductions in the number of accidents, fatal and non-fatal. The number of accidents between Freetown, Wellington, Mashaka, including fatal ones in the past, were very high, at the end of the construction of this road, head-on collision is completely eliminated. So many other accidents that have occurred along this road have been kept at a much lower rate. Freetown is decongested as more people tend to move along the road corridors, looking at the fact that it takes by far less time to travel from those settlements along the road corridor than before. Such movement is done in comfort also. Vehicle operating cost, which is basically the cost component in running a vehicle, has reduced a lot. This implies the amount of fuel consumption come down, cost of spare parts come down, the amount of money spent on mechanics reduced, lifespan of tires has increased, and more trips will be generated by vehicles on this stretch than before. These are the benefits that I have listed, but not all the benefits. However, since the commencement of the operation, the project has faced numerous difficulties and challenges. I will just read out the outlines of all these challenges and focus on the first one. Here are the 7 main challenges, difficulties that we have been facing. The first one is the huge loss due to changes in exchange rate. The exchange rate of US dollars to leons has increased from 7,500 at the start of operations to the current 22,855. Failing to adjust the total tariff timely in accordance with the contract has caused more than $16 million in loss. Number 2, hazard caused by overloaded vehicles. Statistics show that the ratio of overloaded vehicles is 6%. Overweight vehicles pose a great safety hazard to other road users, especially the residents and their property along the road corridor, significantly shorten the highway lifespan, increase additional maintenance and operational costs, and serve impacts on the investor's investment repayment plan. Challenge number 3, illegal activities alongside the highway. Arbitrary parking of minibuses along the highway, especially near intersections and crossroads. On-road loading, offloading by trucks, using the turnover area as media driveway, a divider as a permanent parking lot. Street vendors, and commercial waste on the highway. Challenge number 4, accidents on the highway. Accidents on the newly constructed highway caused by the negligence of the driver and their use of aging and faulty vehicles, overloading, and these and other factors result in the damage of road infrastructure frequently. What is worse is that the accident drivers always fail to compensate the damage, causing additional cost of maintenance to the road. Challenge number 5 is the improper use of registration number plate. I believe some of you have participated in the presentation meeting organized by the Ministry of Works. In that meeting, I showed 3 totally different vehicles using the exactly same registration number, which does not conform to the relevant standards. And number 6, illegal driving behavior. This includes heavy vehicles crossing the road and making U-turns in the middle of the highway where there are no crossings, driving in the opposite direction on the highway. Number 7 is illegal occupancy on the right-of-way. With the development of the highway and road network, there have been a lot increasing number of illegal occupancy on the right-of-way. For example, some companies and individuals have forcefully excavated the road base to build houses within the right-of-way. Planted utility poles, erected various types of billboards, carriage, built access roads over the media divider, and set up ramps for passing vehicles beside roadside direct ditches without permission. I will not go to the details of all these main challenges and difficulties. So there's some questions I mentioned during our meeting in the Ministry Works. Please allow me to, Honorable Chairman, please allow me to repeat those questions again. I believe those questions will result in some consideration in the public. So in the face of these challenges and difficulties, we cannot help but ask ourselves, are we going to let these challenges and difficulties destroy the convenience and improve the traffic that we have been experiencing? Are we going to let these challenges and difficulties shorten the lifespan of the road corridor without being properly maintained? Are we going to let these challenges and difficulties destroy the vibrant social and economic development along the road corridor that we have been witnessing together? Are we going to let these challenges and difficulties destroy what we are proud of? Are we going to let these challenges and difficulties give the national and international investors a negative impression that their investment is not protected? Are we going to let these challenges and difficulties prevent the road corridor from contributing to the Big Five of His Excellency? So the answer is definitely no. The answer is definitely no. To solve these difficulties and make improvements, here are the actions and policies that are requested. The first one is to adjust the toll tariff based on the current exchange rate according to the contract conditions to secure the investor from huge losses and ensure the long-term orderly development and continuous operation of the project. Just now when I mentioned the loss in the exchange rate, apart from the main challenges and difficulties, there were also Malaysia's fee evasion by detouring of vehicles. We have talked about all the huge losses caused by all these difficulties, by tariff lower than that of the agreement, by fee evasion, by extra maintenance costs, by increased interest expenses, accumulated huge losses amounts to more than $72 million. The second action requested is that to charge fines on overloaded vehicles.
I want you to repeat the figure.
72 million. The third one is to curb illegal activities which significantly affect the road user and the normal traffic alongside the highway. Number 4 is to enhance the management of safe and standard driving and vehicle compliance. Number 5, to strengthen the supervision and management of the proper use of vehicle number plates and to comply with the relevant laws and regulations. Number 6, to stop illegal driving behavior on the highway. Number 7, to maintain the right of way of the highway. So here comes to the third part, is the justification of the adjustment. According to the clause 10.4 of the concession agreement, the toll tariff shall be adjusted subject to a review by both parties whenever the exchange rate varies by 10%. Since 2017 up to now, the exchange rate changes from 7,500 up to 22,855.4. The exchange rate variation ratio is 205%, which is much more than the 10% stipulated in agreement. According to our statistics, if according to the contract conditions, the adjustment is long due. It is supposed to be done long time before, in September of 2018. It is because of this government and because of our partnership that we have hold and suffered till this time. It means that according to this clause, it means that the adjustment is justified by the agreement. When the project starts tolling, the unit price charged was itself lower than the contract price. And during the epidemic, we reduced the unit price in accordance with the government's instruction. Major operating costs, such as diesel, have now risen substantially. The combination of all these factors has resulted in us operating in debt. We are running at a loss all along and incurring significant losses. At the same time, the daily maintenance and the substantiality of the roads are our key considerations. And only by adjusting the prices can we ensure the proper maintenance of the roads. The current adjusted price is much lower than the price that should be adjusted according to the contract. And we have already made significant sacrifices and concessions. To adjust toll tariff based on the current exchange rates according to the contract to secure the investor from huge loss and to ensure the long-term orderly development and continuous operation of the losses of the project is very important. This adjustment is not only for this project. We want to work with the government and people of Sierra Leone to create a successful investment project that will attract more investment to Sierra Leone in the short term and in the long run ahead. All investors will be concerned about the safety, the effectiveness, the subsequent survival, and the substantiality of their investment. So in summary, infrastructure is a foundation of a nation's livelihood, economic development, and commerce in Sierra Leone. And it is primary means of improving lives and benefiting the people in Sierra Leone. The PPP model is also worldwide recognized as an infrastructure investment and development model. Presently, the government of Sierra Leone is actively promoting such projects, which is effectively supporting His Excellency the President Dr. Julius Maada Bio's agenda of development. Infrastructure investment projects require deep understanding and strong support from the government to ensure being more attractive to investors. I'm here to request you, to begging you, to pleading you, or to assist in ensuring the effective implementation of the terms of the contract to reduce losses of the investor and mitigate the risk of investment, which would make sure such project to develop stably, orderly, and substantially. As I have said before, this road is not only for the government of Sierra Leone. The real beneficiaries are the road users. So please come together to cherish and protect this road corridor. We firmly believe that with the understanding and the significant support of you, the field of infrastructure development in Sierra Leone will prosper, and we can achieve better development, cooperation in PPP projects and other areas. Thank you again. Thank you for your understanding, consideration, and substantial support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, we are taking notes. We have the agreement for us. You quoted 10.4, and I went straight to 10 for honorable members. For us that doesn't have the agreement, 10.4 reads revisions to the highway tolls. It says the toll tariff shall be adjusted subject to a review on the base traffic. Subject to a review on the base traffic data by both parties whenever the exchange rate varies by 10%. The concessionaire shall ensure that the toll tariffs are published at such time so as to enable the adjusted tolls to be charged with effect from the requisite dates under the concession agreement at any rate not later than 2 days after mutual agreement. Review of today's tariff data and the concessionaire over the ministry, the government of Sierra Leone, shall ensure that the toll tariff are published at such time so as to enable the adjusted tolls to be charged. I am reading this portion because I was in this parliament when this agreement was passed. I am still on record. I am on record that some of us challenged this agreement. I am still on record. But the fact of the matter is we have an agreement that was ratified by the majority of members of parliament and binding by the states. I could still remember in 2017 when we were passing this agreement. I was extremely vociferous and I still stand on my position. But that will not stop government from implementing what was ratified in this parliament. After today, after the end of this process, I'll recommend to the Ministry of Works to look at this agreement again, if need be, so that we have an agreement that should stand the test of time. Some of us envisage this, and we are record. I know I've been quoted by the media. I've refused to make statements. When people make agreement for their own selfish reasons, others will have to suffer, and that's what we are suffering today. When the agreement was brought here, I was strong, I was very, very vociferous. I stood and said, in the last dispensation, that the future of this country will have to suffer. I am still on record. The answers are there. Today, I am exonerated. And I know the minister is under pressure. But he has no, all of us, we have no option. But some people took this decision at a period whilst we told them that tomorrow people will suffer. And I see people playing politics with these things, which are not correct. And people who are playing politics are the people who advise. And they were here, they were opposed, they have the majority. And even today I will tell my government, if you are passing laws that are not good, tomorrow, posterity to judge you. If you want to play politics with something, you get deliberate and very boastful because you have the majority. Today, we are here and we have no option as a government because we cannot be seen going against our own laws.
Mr. Chairman, please, Mr. Chairman.
So, I'm just
please, Mr. Chairman, please.
I have so much emotion, passion for this agreement.
Mr. Chairman, please take it out of this case.
Yes, thank you.
And allow the witnesses.
I am listening to
the minister. Let's allow the minister.
They have done their presentation. Mr. Minister. Mr. Minister.
Yes.
We are here.
Yes, sir.
SLR, you have a project. So, he was part of SLR while supervisor. No, he was not. He was very SLR, you want to. We have listened to CRSG. Sorry, I just thought I was in the last part.
Emotionally moved.
We have listened to the presentation as have been made by CRSG. You have part You are part of you have a project manager besides. You have listened to the justification. We want to listen from you. You are our
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Let us be attentive, please. Side talks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Of course, all our members of the committee all our members of the committee for this opportunity. We are always delighted to hearken to your call because we know it always has a way of improving our own efficiency and performance as an institution. So it's good that we are here. I think I would like to start from the point of view that I'm sure some of you are aware, for those who are not aware, there are two sets of agreements within one. One has to do with the concession itself, which was signed by the Ministry of Works and of course the CRSG. And then there is a works contract which was signed by the SLRA contractor, the CRSG. The Israeli Roads Authority, like the chairman just said, we are the technical experts, and our realm is around the roadworks itself. You're right.
From where?
Okay, well, you move that way. Move that way. Move that way.
Sir, are you a journalist? From where? Huh?
Accreditation, please.
Are you an accredited journalist in this paper? Which paper?
We form a newspaper.
Huh?
We form a newspaper.
Do you have any?
And you? Which?
Mr. Chairman, I mean, the guy, the gentleman there is part of our media team. I call him for the records.
I think they are all journalists. And it's the one he just asked to adjust the light.
Did you are listening, sir?
Alright, so as I was saying, and of course, reiterating what the chairman just said before passing on the mic is we are the technical experts and our expertise reigns in the road sector. So the road component of this agreement was actually seen by us, which means we were responsible for supervision of the roadworks. And I mean, from the presentation of CRSG, it tells you that we will expeditiously done our own part of that agreement to ensure that we supervise what was planned. I mean, it's being seen and it's being implemented with all of the glories around it. We've had a few, if I just confirm, we've had a few international, road agencies coming in to see what has been done here, to be replicated in their own country. So to us, that's a big pride. No one can take that away. So, they also raise some challenges. We are not oblivious of those. We could resolve those challenges in an amicable way. Some of them we could not address automatically, but then over a period of time we would resolve them. As it regards the increment, toll fee, that aspect is enshrined in the concession agreements for which the Ministry of Works takes full responsibility of that agreement. And of course, even the very clause I was quoted, 10.4, can be found in that clause. So what we can do as the SLRA is, if there are any technical issues, advice that will be required in that respect, we are always humble and ready to provide those. Right. So at this point, I think that's where I want to stop.
So Mr. Contractor, before going to the minister, sorry. You are supposed to be reporting on this project and through collection to the government. Have you been doing your reports?
Yes, Honorable Chairman. Since the beginning of this project, during construction period and also during the operation period, we have been submitting regular reports to the government authorities.
Including financial reports?
Yes, in that report, the main content is the roads maintenance, operation, financial accounts, financial situation, and also challenges, and also the operation and maintenance activities that has been done.
So, have you been reporting the day's traffic?
Yes, traffic data and also collection.
Traffic data collection, do you have evidence of those?
Yeah, we submit this regularly.
To SLI. What's the timeline of submission?
It is a quarterly report.
When last did you submit?
Pardon?
When last did you submit? When last did you submit?
The last time we submitted is beginning of this February.
You submitted it?
Yeah, 2024.
So we should. At that moment, we should.
Yes, Chairman. So who did you submit?
You say you submit to SLI, right?
Yes, SLI.
So let them verify that.
SLI is verify that. Is that project manager? The reason I am deliberate when I ask this question. The whole public is asking, we want to know what has been generated. If for any reason they are running after loss as have been presented, they should be given their reports because they should not be running the tool in isolation. SLRA, CRSG, you are providing the oversight on them. That's why you have a project manager of the site to verify and ascertain whatever document they present to you. Have they been sending reports on the road and the financial reports to you on a quarterly basis?
So at this point, there's one man who has been here throughout. I will let him address.
Engineer Kome is the director of assets and the project manager. He's a very senior director. Mr. Director, have you been receiving documents, reports, including financial reports from CRSG?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
A quick one, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'm still not convinced that they have been receiving reports. Because, Mr. Chairman, because the fact of the matter is the Director General could not tell this committee exactly because they are still having the same comments with the Director. The Director reports to the Director General. So by every indication, it's to prove that the Director General has not idea the reports are coming in. So that's why you switched the answer. The question to let me do an amendment.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, in any case, if CRSG is providing quarterly status of that report, there is every reason for the director to be updating the Director General in their management meetings. So, for the DG to tell this committee that he cannot answer that question. But Mr. Chairman. No, Mr. Chairman, please. We are live. Of course, we are live.
He switched the questions.
He passed the mic over to the director. No. But the
Please, let's get with ourselves.
Honorable members,
I'm just guiding you.
We are on record.
And nobody's against what you're saying. I'm just guiding that they are here as a team.
I agree.
Thank you.
But what I am saying, if I am not doubting it, but I want to believe the SLRSA do have their SLRA do have their regular management meetings.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director General. Honorable members, let's have one meeting, please, Mr. Director General. You listen to the CRG are saying that they are claiming. Honorable members, the reason why I have not wanted, because that's another form of investigation that this committee will be taking after this whole process. This is a committee that is providing oversight. We'll have to look at all of these documents after. We'll have to verify, we'll have to come out clean to the public that this is what actually based on the reports the SLR will be given us and the news CRG will be requesting thereafter. And we'll come clean to the public that this is what we have seen and these are the reports. And at the end of the day, if we do not have the capacity, we will recommend that we have a special audit team to audit the reports if they have been given to the SLI and the report will get. At the end of the day, what did we have listened to that concerns? You listen to your director. Have you been receiving the quarterly reports?
So we're here as a team. Otherwise, only the Director General would have been summoned here. So which means whatever statement comes from any member of my team, SLR should take the full responsibility of it. Just one. Also, I did not pass on the mic because I could not answer the question. I did so because there is a need for the, I don't call it institutional, but like the knowledge of the project knowledge. Engineer Kome has been there from the inception to this point. I have been in different departments before ascending to the position in which I am. So I think he was in a better position to address that question.
Mr. Chairman, we don't want to go into that. Because if that's the case, we don't want to go into that.
Mr. Chairman, I have said, this is the beginning of the investigations. This is leading us to a series of analysis.
Yes. We are going to ask them to submit to us documents.
Definitely.
Not so?
Definitely. So we're presenting, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Mayor. You see, Mr. Minister.
No, the minister has not said anything.
He's on the program. I just want to add something very important.
No, there will come a period.
It's not question. It's just a comment. I just want to draw his attention to this relevant issue. For a government as a public representative, you've had public outcry. The government
Chairman, I'll wait. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Mr. Minister, you have listened to the contractor and you have listened to our professionals. Do you want to now talk to us? Then you have the floor.
Thank you, my handsome chairman.
I got that one.
And I make no apologies for that. Thank you again, my handsome chairman. Honorable members, some of us have great respect for Parliament. This is why we are here. So before I really conclude my own presentation properly, it will be better for all of us and our people in this country to properly digest and understand To properly understand and digest why we are here. We are here because of the process we have gone through that led to a proper review of the now existing 2A charges. So I would like to hand over the mic to the professional head and chief director, so that after his explanation regarding the process we took, again, continue the mic to further this discussion. The reason being, I don't want anybody to leave here with any misconception. I don't want anybody to leave here with any iota of doubt. But after his explanation about the process and why we're here, and the MDs involved, believe you me, I think tempers or temperament or misconceptions would have been solved. So, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, please let the page dilate on that, and then I continue my discussions. Please, not more than 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Minister. Mr. Chairman, honorable members of Parliament. The ministry got a proposal from CRSG for an increase in toll rates. After the minister received such a proposal, he summoned a meeting of key stakeholders. There are two meetings. There was the first meeting wherein the chairman himself attended, representative from the Ministry of Finance, representative from the Ministry of Transport, from SLR, the DT himself was there. They deliberated on it. And then they agreed that we should call up a broader stakeholder representation for them to discuss such an issue. A second meeting was called, in which I attended. I actually moderated the process. Those present in that meeting were about 23 MDs, including civil society, the trade unions, and the Transport Owners Association. Ministries in that meeting were the Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Police, Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Police, Ministry of Transport, to name but a few. The same presentation which the CRS representative actually done here was also done. The CRSG presented the benefits of the toll road, the benefits of foreign direct investment in this country, and the challenges. And then we deliberated upon the justification why we require an increase in the toll rates. Several discussions here and there for various proposals came up. But what was agreed on in that discussion was a proposal for an increase across the board. With Group 1, the meeting agreed that there should be an increase from 1 leon to 3 leons. With Group 2, we agreed that there should be an increase from 2 leons to 5 leons. Group 3, which has to do with the jeeps, the SUVs, an increase from 4 leons to 10 leons. With Group 4, the minibuses, an increase from 18 leon to 40 leon. And then Group 5, which is the most controversial, critical one, an increase from 183 leon to 700. The meeting stalled when we reached actually 5, because some people proposed 250, some of them say 500. The proposal from CRS is about a little over 1,025. Yeah. The 2 million later on, what came up with 1,025 million. We deliberated upon it. Civil society was also present. There are representatives from various civil society organizations. We agreed in that meeting. You want to bring the mic closer? That meeting that the Group 5 should be 700. 700 million. And then the group 6, which is currently 100 million, should be 250 million. So that was compiled and presented to the minister for next steps. So that was what we did in the discussions. It was compiled in the meeting and presented to the minister for further actions. So when we received this proposal from CRSE, it was discussed in 2 meetings, and the final meetings agreed that there should be an increment in 2 stages. And what is presented currently in the first stage of increment. So that's all I know about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, we have listened to the Chief Director, we call him the professional head. Let me now continue. Mr. Chairman, I'm sitting here as a true Sierra Leone. Mr. Chairman, members of Parliament, I'm sitting here guided by documents since I came on planet Earth. Mr. Chairman, I'm sitting here again as a proud Sierra Leonean who believes in the rule of law. Mr. Chairman, I'm sitting here again as somebody who means well for this country. I will never indulge in any practice that will have a negative effect on my credibility, integrity, and the future of my child. Mr. Chairman, I'm proud to be the Minister of Works and Public Assets under the Blue-led second administration. Mr. Chairman, it is now clear that there was a technical committee formed. It consists of 23 MDs right across the spectrum of all the major players in the road sector that deliberated extensively on why, in fact, we should go according to this consensual agreement regarding the presentation made by CRSG here, Mr. Bill. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, I did not mean that God really loved this country. I can say here with all pride that this document will never be in the public domain. When I became Minister of Works and Public Access on the 1st of August 2023, this document was never in my office. I didn't meet it there. Which document is that? This is the concession agreement between the government of Sierra Leone and the China Railway 7 Group Warren Utawa. I only came across this document when Mr. Bingo and the CRG approached me and then we started discussions on the possible review of the toll-gate charges. As a very good educated Sierra Leonean, I asked them, where is the contract document? I repeat, I asked them, so that people will stop discussing things they don't understand it over radio. So where is the contract document? They brought it for me. Who brought that for you? All remember. All Mr. Tawa. Can I continue my presentation, sir? Go on. The first thing you need to know, all remember, this thing was not in my office. They brought it for me because it was part of the negotiations and the arrangement. No, I'm sorry, that's why I speak, don't worry.
I want to know, how do you access who bought it for you? Simple.
Simple. That's not the question to the implication.
Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen,
cool down a bit. Let me just finish.
Mr. Minister, you are addressing us.
Oh yes, Mr. Chairman, my handsome chairman. So let me proceed now. When I got this document, I took 3 solid days to go through it properly. 3 sleepless nights. Imagine an economist facing now a legal situation, and then this thing on the floor discussing the possible review on the toll-gate charges. And I want to say thank you very much to the Works Committee here. They have been so helpful in all of our endeavors. And because God took care of all of you here, they've been part and parcel of the process. Honorable Sati was there. Chairman was there. But then, let me tell take you through to some clauses. Forget about clause 10.4. This document was signed in December 2015. I can say it. I was in there as Minister of Works and Public Assets. His Excellency the President was in there. It was signed in December 2015. The better we understand this document and read it, I think the more our people will be informed accordingly. Because a lot of misconceptions have been made on issues they don't understand. Before I get to clause 10.4, let me read this one important clause first. About this misconception, why CRSG started collecting toll gates before the end of the completion. Let's start from there, please. And then you know that these are people that went according to the law. You know, as academia, we believe in documents. We read too much. This is our problem.
What page are you taking us to?
Yes, just wait, please. Briefly.
2.5.
No, it's not 2.5. Wait. See it. I'll go back to Papa. I've seen it. Now listen, 9.1.3. Take it down so that you stop misinforming our people. So it's true. Commissioning. That's
Mr. Minister,
sorry. I forgot that. Sorry, sir.
You refer us to.
Honourable members, let me just go to 9.1.3. 9.1.3.
Page 21.
Okay.
9.1.3. I read. The concessionaire may only charge and collect tolls in accordance with clause 10. The collection of such tolls shall commence, shall commence, all members, after widening of the existing road to 4 lanes from 0 kilometer to 10 kilometers, and after attaining 30% of the site clearing works on the entire road. They did it. All members, that was why I was in there. Most of us were not there. That was the justification as bent down in this contract. Why CRG started collecting toll before the completion of the project. So they had rights, according to this document, to have done so. I was in there. Let us go again to. Let us go again, please. Before I come to 10.4. Let us go again to payments. I want us to understand again because, for members, people again have taken over the year and are giving misconceptions regarding the percentage of the gross revenue that CRG is giving or paying or transferring to the government. Please listen again. Payments. 2.5. Payments.
2.5.
2.5 payments. 2.5.1. Okay? 1, 2, 3, the 4th lines. Okay, let's start. Same as expressly provided in this concession agreement and subject to clause 2.5.2, the government of Sierra Leone shall, during the repayment of the loan and interest by the concessionaire to their lenders, the concessionaire, ladies and gentlemen, CRSG, to the lenders, receive from the concessionaire 5% of the gross income total revenue annually, and not 10%. All members, people have gone over the year again.
Mr. Minister, address us.
Just address us.
Okay, sorry.
You are addressing the people.
It's 5% and not 10%. Let me go to my it is 5% and not 10%. I think great exception to those who have really misinformed. Secondly, again, this is again something I want all of you guys to understand again. Sorry, all members. I need to stand. Please, I really expect. Let me stand. Because when I'm sitting, I really forget that I'm really here. I'm really very sorry. So let me stand.
All it to do for us, Mr. Minister, just calm down.
I know, Mr. Minister.
Okay.
That's his disposition as a boss. Thank you.
Okay, on please. My apologies. The last sentence. After the completion of the loan, I want us to understand this because this is something really damning. After the completion of the loan and interest payments, the assumption is that we have not paid as a government. The concessionaire shall pay to the concessionaire on a yearly basis 10% of the gross income to revenue. That is where the 10% will come in. Mr. Chairman, let me take us again to another very important aspect of this arrangement. In fact, this now is going to put, to hold everything regarding documentation. Yes, Mr. Chairman, all members, 3.5, let us take into consideration. The concessionaire to make documents available to the concessionaire. Now we are asking for financial reports, we want to know how much they have collected, etc., etc. Let us go to the agreement. The last sentence here says, the concessionaire shall not be obliged to disclose any document in respect of which the concessionaire can claim legal privilege against the concessionaire. Who wrote this? Where? Please, let me just finish. Attention. Let me go over this list so you understand. Take us to the provision. I'm just reading. So the reason I'm reading it is because you want the contract to understand by all members. Exactly. I wasn't there.
Honorable members, please. In our own WhatsApp group, I told my MPs that we should not be making comments rather than research. This is our document. This document was ratified in this parliament. We have a copy. We have copies. We have them. The copies in the library. This is our document. We are just reading these portions, these sections for the public to understand.
Exactly.
But for us, honorable members, we should not be shocked. This is no shock at all. This was ratified in this parliament in 2015. It came, it was defeated. In less than 2 weeks, it was brought again. So I know this document.
So let me finish, Mr. Chairman, with all respect. 3.5. The concessionaire to make documents available to the concessionaire. The concessionaire shall not be obliged to disclose any document in respect of which the concessionaire can claim legal privilege against the concessionaire. Let me proceed. Documents in respect of which the concessionaire can claim legal privilege against third parties shall be held in confidence by the concessionaire in terms of clause 3.65, as if the concessionaire was bound by that clause, provided always that this restriction, this is what is important now, this restriction shall not prevent any disclosure by the concessionaire which is required by law or by state.
Can I ask a question?
All members,
Sorry. Exactly. Mr. Minister, we are still bound by this agreement, and we, as a government, are still to respect the provisions of this agreement. Do you want to leave that and we discuss around the issues that are up? Because whatever is in this document is a law.
Exactly, Mr. Chairman.
Whatever is in this document
exactly.
is a law.
Simple, thank you. So on that note, honorable members, I just want all of us to understand that there are certain provisions in this particular contractual arrangement that we have to be careful when explaining the Wellington Material project to our people. Yeah. This was a private partnership investment model, the first of its kind in this country. 62 kilometers, and CRA expects 100 $154 million to construct that road. When you calculate it, it gives us a cost of $2.4 million per kilometer for 4 lanes. And if you say 1 lane, which is of course 92 stretches, it's $1.2 million. The DG here will tell you exactly that road construction is a highly capital intensive project. We will tell you exactly how much a kilometer of road costs on average. It's so exorbitant. So this is it, 2015 to now. But the good thing is that CRAG rarely, I'm not saying because they're here, they have expressed utter patience and management humility. The good thing is that they have never at any point threatened litigation against us as a government. They have never, unlike other contracts we have entered into, they have never. They said, Mr. Minister, you have to understand our point. And that point takes up now to clause 10.4 that he has read. It's clearly binding. That we need to review this toll gate charge when the exchange rate varies by 10% over time.
Thank you. You want to present us your recommendations?
Yes, of course.
Can we see them?
One, before I go to the recommendations, I just want to tell you what has happened today. No, what has happened today that is good so that you can understand. The motor drivers and driver workers union and these petroleum dealers, they met me in my office yesterday and 2 days ago. After explaining this to them, especially with categories 5, where the problem is, we are misconstruing 10 tires to less than 10 tires. In fact, there are people that pay 183 loans. When this new review comes to effect, if you ratify it, they'll pay now 40 loans. This is something we don't understand. Because there is a clause there, clause 4, group 4, which is less than 10 tires. So that means some people will be paying 40 loans and not even 183 loans. But then because of the 10 tire and above, 12 and the trailers, this was a good thing now. He's here again, can guide me. In fact, it was only 2 days ago that I came to understand that not all above 10 tires or 10 tires or 12 tires have the same tonnage. You have some with almost 20 tons. You have some again 30 to 40. So they are pleading that for their own 10 tires, above 10 tires, or the tonnage of not more than 20 tons, CRA should give them consideration not to pay this 700, and they propose it, which was good. The other aspect we are failing to understand here, and this is again very good for our people, CRAG has been really humane in allowing tankers coming from the regions have emptied their products. They are passing all of those three toll gates free. They don't pay anything for Bowsers. You only pay when, of course, you are fully charged. Again, these guys with the trailers and then the some Coca-Cola boys, they have pleaded again. Say, Dom, do ya help us talk to CRAG if we can also enjoy that advantage. That when we are going, we are empty, let us pass freely. And when we are coming and then we have some products, we can pay, which is good. Which is really good. Because what they are saying is the pressure, that is really damaging the road. I have some pictures here. I will show you when you start presenting. I'm not here. If I have my power to even discuss CRAG about any possible increase. You know, sometimes it's not easy to be a government minister, but you have to do your job. Especially if you are bounded by contractual arrangements over time, that you are not there to make some recommendations. So going forward, Group 1 has no problem, and Okadas will not pay. Mr. Chairman, again, I've heard people saying Okadas will pay. Let us stop this misinformation. Let me just make it. 2 minutes now. 2 minutes.
A copy of the recommendation.
No, I will send it from here. I will send it. 2 minutes now.
Because we want to look at it.
No, I will send it from here when I get back to the office. Okay. You know, this morning, we are still grappling with energy supplies. Secondly, Group 1 is not a problem. Can you boys? Of course, it's okay. Group 2 is not a problem. My class, it's okay. Somebody's phone. Group 3 again, it's not a problem. SUVs. Mr. Chairman, you have SUV. Satis, they have, everybody have, it's okay. Group 4, small medium buses, again, it's okay. The problem people are saying is because these are the trucks or these are the transportation facilities bringing goods and services from the region, which is correct. Mr. Chairman, we have discussed with CRAG. I can't discuss that, but they're here. They have warmed up to that idea of considering some categories of that particular sector to some amount of reduction, that will be a win-win situation. But whether we like, Mr. Chairman, there are some trucks that are crawling along that highway, destroying the highway with overload. Right now, they will tell you that we have even started discussions, the ASU road policy, which again will be another problem, honestly. The ASU road policy, which again will be another problem if we really think about implementing it, or we are not. So, the whole issue about this is understanding the categories. The 500 group 6, these are the fair browsers. 3, there are specifications. 3 to 4 axles. 2 axles, you don't bring that. So going forward, if we really embark on a real and honest sensitization or awareness raising, and we are telling our people exactly what they need to know, they will understand. So if we don't bring politics to this, we will all honestly be happy at the end of the day. So listen now. CRSG have been doing well, but Mr. Chairman, non-investor in this world, simple economics, want to operate the business, relationship is really running the loss. I know all members here who have met me in my office for rents and payments for their own businesses. And we have settled that.
Private matter.
No, I'm not saying it. I can say that 100%. I've done some calculation, I'll show you later, about the financial analysis and its implication if we don't review and consider a win-win situation on this matter. I'm happy it's going to be debated now by Parliament. We've got all the documents and have great faith in Parliament. But the basic thing I want us to understand before I lay down my mic is that, all members, close your eyes and assume you are the Minister of Works and Public Assets now. And this thing comes to your table for discussion. And then there are contractual arrangements binding this government and the China Radio 7 group. And then your people are in the middle. And then your own feature, again, is hanging in the balance. What will you do? Will you rely for our people that they are not captured in the contract? Or what will you do? Will you again try to put spanner in the works of private investors that we need in this country to move our country forward? Okay. So going forward, as Minister of Works, I'm here for a review, for you to judge me at the end of the day. But what I've done with my own intent and spirit is the right thing. And the Almighty God of Allah will continue guiding me and every step I take. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Thank you, Director General. Thank you, the concessionaire, CRSG. Mr. Minister, this agreement is a product of this House. I don't believe anybody will question anything else. But at this moment, as a percentage, that's questioned. I want to thank CRSG for exercising a lot of patience before now. I want to thank them because when we were passing it into law, we did not consider today. Before now, 10% increment we have had, the current exchange rate increment is 205%. And CRSG has exercised a lot of patience for not increasing their total to 205% increment. They should have done that like 20 times now. Because for every increment of 10%, that's about 10.4, they should have increased this on the exchanges. Thank you very much for listening. At this moment, Mr. Minister, I'd ask for you to send us, for us to have a look at the current proposals in terms of rates officially. We have seen that from social media, but we don't want to see that. We want to see and do our own input as representatives of our people. Because whatever we do, whatever laws we pass, the people comes first. We consider them high. Had it not been for our people, we would not be where we are today. So whatever law, whatever agreement we forward we are taking, we will consider the interest of our people. So we don't have a copy now. You said there are new proposals. we hope to see the new proposals again. And as a committee, we'll make and take decision. We hope the new proposals will stop the public crime, or will reduce, because the public crime always continue, will minimize the public crime. The new proposal we are expecting should consider the interest of our people. So the fact that we don't have the current proposal and we are still working on it so that they have the real figure, Parliament will wait, the committee will be patiently for Monday or Tuesday to see the new proposal and we'll bring you our recommendation. We have all consulted with our constituents, all of us. Thankfully, this is PR, where our constituents are our districts. We don't rely on the small constituency, we now consult with our districts. And most of us are coming from the rural areas. So it's only beneficial.
It's from Gambia.
So, honorable members, the floor is open. The minister is abreast of the contract. Whatever questions we have, let us do it with humility and respect.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also want to join you, Mr. Minister, please. Mr. Minister, to admonish, and I'm happy that the minister, by the time he was wrapping up, he was able to understand that he shouldn't take this issue with emotions. As a parliament, Honorable Bash and I, we are part of a few MPs we are the only MPs that we are part of the process of ratification of this particular toll agreement. And I could remember when that document was brought to this realm, the first MP that debated on that document was a member of the opposition, Honorable Jeki. He cried the document, and it was followed by Honorable, there was a member of Parliament from Moliti, and of course Bash himself debated. Because of the hue and cry of the House, the Speaker then thought it was not prudent for us to continue with the ratification. So it was sent for further consultation, like you have now proposed for a new review, which is good. That's the way to go. Our concern here is not about who has the power to increase or decrease. They are investors. It doesn't matter which government is in power today. The APC was in power. We brought in this because we knew that it has so much advantage if that road was widened. We know the convenience it creates now. And they are investors who need to attract more investment. But in doing so, the interests of our people should be at the fore, whilst we also protect the interests of investors. The Chinese people have exercised so much patience. And I think if they can do it then, when they brought in charges, exorbitant charges, because of the spirit of the House at that time, they accepted for an amendment or a communique to reach out, wherein all players, like you mentioned, were called upon. The drivers' union, I think, there was a communique. So when the agreement was represented to the House, we debated two documents now. We debated the communique in tandem with the concession agreement. So I don't know, in fact, it was the concession agreement that had the fees that we used that they charge. In a sense, even the agreement itself was part of the agreement. So it's an addendum. That's why if you go to the lab, you read those two documents there. So debated. So I want to say your defense for proposing, talking about 3.5. 3.5 is not in concession here. Section 93(6)(p) is clear. Parliament has the power to compel the production of documents as the case may be. But Section 10.4, whoever thought of this clause, Mr. Chairman, I think it was well thought of. That person was indeed very much patriotic. It was for the good of the country as well as the company. Because you do not have the accountant in the CRSG to be able to tell you how much of gross income they are being disclosing or being reported. The only way you can verify the 5% that they are paying you is based on the traffic data. That's why every vehicle that passes there, they take a shot of it. So if you are really particular, I think this one should not be in contention. The fact that the clause 10.4 is saying that for any review to be done, the company needs to produce the traffic data, I think it is something that we must not put in contention. Compare them, as the argument has already said, let them produce that. So we can exactly see how much they have been given to the government, and maybe we can even give them more. Because if you realize that the traffic data shows that there is some drop in the traffic data as expected during the time of the negotiation of this agreement, we can do something better. So please, I'm appealing that you cause the production of the traffic data, the increase of 10% or whatever based on the variation of exchange rate is legal. That I must confess. When there is a change, they must, but they cannot do that without coming to us. So I'm happy that you are now in Parliament, and I do hope that when once you bring the adjustment, it will be brought to Parliament, and then Parliament will have a broader view in debating this. But I want to call that please let us have another review of the fees. If they done it in 2015, I do believe that the CRSG can do it again, so that Parliament can have a broader review of the proposed rates they have already proposed. The 200% is not too much considering the increase, but for now, I think it's too much for our people. Let us have a more reasonable rate that will reflect some increase, but also create some win-win situation. Thank you.
We have requested for the draft because I know they have not increased 200%. I know they have not increased 200%. And we ratified the bill pricing, but we did not ratify 10.4. And even if we are going to be bound by the new prices that was ratified, then 10.4 is still implemented. It was in that parliament that was still remember. We only adjusted 10.3. 10.3 was adjusted, and 10.4 is still part of the laws. And 10.4, I believe, is what CRSG and the ministry are relying on.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. This is a very complex and ambiguous situation we find ourselves, but by all means we have to do diligence to it. I'm Honorable J. Williams from both districts. Like the Minister said in his presentation that they are doing all they could, and will continue to plead with you and the China Railway 7th Group that let there be a win-win situation to this matter, because this matter hinges to our governance, and we have promised to the people of this country to do service delivery to them. So therefore, I will plead with you, with the ministry, the Sierra Leone Road Transport Authority, that you do all you could so that you minimize the suffering of our people. But going further, I disagree with my colleague that on 3.5, and it's contrary to the right to access to information that, as a former deputy chair of the Ministry of Information and Communication, that this agreement, that they shall not be obliged to disclose whatever they agree. I don't think it is in the modern world where there is transparency and in governance we are doing things in good faith. There are some things we inherit in governance. It's not pleasant. It's not useful at all. Even though government is continuity, you cannot make an agreement that you cannot disclose what is being discussed. Why? What is the secrecy about it?
Are we still discussing this agreement, sir?
Yeah. So, no, the
agreement is bounded by law.
I know, it's binding by law, but I'm just looking at the ambiguities involved in it and the lacunas involved. I agree with you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just making a comment to that. You remember the first time I said that we do due diligence to it, but there are some things you inherit as a family that you will do your best to eat, but you have to say it what is right and what is like a question mark to it. So, thank you very much. This is my observation to you. And please do all you can so that we come out with a situation.
Like the honorable members, we have an agreement Yeah, that is fine. We have an agreement, and we are still waiting on the minister to send us a draft of the proposals. We are still, as a parliament, waiting on the minister to send a draft of the proposals. Thank you.
Yes, Chair.
So we are now wrapping.
Okay, Chair. Thank you so much. And thank you.
The minister. PH, please don't disturb the minister.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Mr. Minister and CLSG. So I have a few questions. Firstly, I want to know whether there was a price adjustment formula, and if there is none, don't you think that we need to get a price adjustment formula now for future proposals? The price adjustment formula.
No, it's in the contract.
Yeah,
look at
there
the
is no price adjustment formula.
There's a price adjustment from that.
So what I'm saying is different. It's not that.
Can we review in future, Mr. Minister? Can we review the entire contract?
What?
Immediately after this, I am of the conviction that we should have it and review the entire contract.
We have the power to contract for 6 period. Whatever the things that we should ask ourselves.
Just briefly, just a second, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, the entire package that guides your deliberation forwards are now here in Parliament. Like we are saying, Cabinet really has taken that decision for a proper review of this entire contract. So again, it's there. So when you receive your package, just go through it, work honestly the way forward. But again, we also really in a very strong position to have this contract reviewed. And of course,
we need to review it because I think this is an opportunity, assuming without conceding that the contract was bad, this is an opportunity for us to right the wrongs.
You're right. You have your package, you see them.
All right, and also it has to do with clause 3.5. Which says CLSG is not obliged to disclose documents. I want to know what constitutes those documents that the CLSG should not disclose. Because in clause 16, it states that the CLSG should disclose all accounting reports, financial statements, and profits and loss and all of these things. It is in clause 16. So I want to know what really constitutes those documents that are not to be disclosed, because clause 16 indicates that we need to, they should disclose all documents.
The specific portion, because not everybody has.
Yes, clause 16 is there.
16.1, 16.2,
16.1, 2, and 3 deals with all of that. Clause 16 says. 16.1, it deals with appointments of auditors and auditing the 16.2.
Honorable members, it is on this provision that I ask CRSG if they have been furnished SLR.
Exactly.
With their finances. Let us move forward. We still don't have.
It means the documents that are of importance to this discussion should not be kept in secret.
They should be with concessionaire.
Sorry?
Not with the public.
Exactly. Yes, of course.
The concessionaire.
Of course. So that has to do with privileges. Remember.
The documents have every. Mr. Honorable, sorry, I know you remember.
Interjecting the man.
The SLR is representing government.
Yes.
So whatever documents the CRSG have, including financial documents, should be presented to SLR on our behalf.
Yes.
No, to the Ministry of Works.
SLR is not at the Ministry of Works.
So what I'm contesting is that to say that these documents that includes the financial statement and all audited accounts, as sensitive as they are, they should be kept secret. That's what I'm contesting. They should be submitted to the government.
Thank you.
Okay. And the other thing I want to understand the second part of clause 2.5 that has to do with the 10%. It seems to me as if after the 27 years, the 90%, the CLSG still is entitled to the 90% of the 10%. No, it seemed to me that they have the 90%, but we need to look into that properly. Please, Chair, look at 2.5, the second part.
No, I was there. Let me read. Let me tell you what he said.
Yes, I want to understand that, please.
After complete overlay, after complete payment of the loan and interest within the 27 years.
Yes.
Government is still entitled to just 10%. After
yes, and who is entitled to the 90%?
Until the 27 years.
No, it's talking
that is after the payment.
After the 27 years.
No. I was there.
What is the overlay?
No. They said after the payment, it is possible that CRSG can pay the loan and interest in 15 years. It is possible.
Okay.
But after the payment of the loan and interest, government until the 27 years, government is entitled to 10% and CRSG to 90%.
Okay, so the overlay is for the 15 years.
No, after the payment, okay, now listen again. After the payment of the loan and the interest,
okay.
Now let us assume CLSG is paying the loan and interest in 10 years. And 20 years down 17 years down the line or 18 years down the line, government shall earn 10%
okay.
of the gross.
Okay.
That means if let us assume CLSG has even paid.
Exactly.
Let us assume we have even paid now in this 8 years they have been managing it. We are still not entitled to anything more than 10%. And that's what this 2.5 it was done in this parliament. And I'm telling you that's why I know it's often. I don't even read it. This one. So honorable members, we don't.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, you be the last one.
Yes, sir.
Because this is Friday, we have Muslims here. We will continue when we receive the draft. When we receive the draft, then we will now talk. We will now again make our contribution and present.
Not only the draft.
Mr. Chairman, can I
Mr.
say
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, for me, I am very much pleasant because the minister said we will be at the middle win situation. However, what is concerned is about the people. Again, I want to ask if they could submit the vote desired to the committee also. Because considering the fact that there are other components, I'm sure, should have been added to it, a divide. Because we can use this current situation to amend whatever we want to. If there are things that they could have done before, which they have learned not to do, we cannot use this particular situation to fix them. Second, their corporate social responsibility. We are making emphasis that the people, those corporate social responsibility are for the people. Let's consider it also if they are actually reaching all of those things. So the ministry can I say you cannot advocate for them. Yes, so I'm just saying that can we have the road plans and the design, so that we can look at it if there are conditions or additionals that need to be done that they have not done yet. These are all things that we need to do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Honorable members, this is the beginning of the meetings with CLSG and the Ministry and SLRA. Our concentration today is the increments in the tool. With this meeting, there have been a lot of insights. We'll be asking for the traffic data, we'll be asking for the review of the program. We'll be holding several other meetings after today. I am going to assure you that we'll be holding several meetings after today. Please, let us concentrate ourselves with the public interest of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, with specific reference to 2.5. Yeah? 2.5, yes. Let me direct this concern to the Minister and SLRE. How can we as a government or the people, how can we confirm that CRSG has paid the loan and the interest?
Can we keep that for the next meeting? Please. Well, that's why I asked that we are going to ask for the report that will be presented to SLRE so that we can verify.
The reason being, Mr. Chairman, this agreement does not speak to that.
What? It doesn't speak to what?
To that, as to how we can confirm as a government or as a country that they have paid, they have completed the loan.
So that's why
Remember, are you representing the people or
no,
please
don't.
Come on, allow me to speak. No, Mr. Chairman, let me allow me to speak. Come on.
No, please.
I can see you are...
No, please don't. It's your colleague, please. Please.
Thank you very much, Chairman. And I want, as the Deputy Chief Whip 2 of this House, and my admonish members to please be guided by the standing order of the House. That is one. Secondly, Chairman, my point is, since this is the beginning of several engagements leading to a foreseeable conclusion that will be win-win for the people and for CRSG and their investment, I would advise that the dates that the Minister has set for the implementation of these new rates be put in abeyance until these reviews are done, so as to enable the people to know that we as Parliament, we have done a thorough work, and they themselves as investors would know that yes, we have looked into their concern and we can strike a balance in the middle. That is just what I want to say.
Thank you very much. We are very sure the Minister knows the laws. There is no way this increment will come into reality without coming to Parliament. So, a proposal of March 1 can only come into actualization when Parliament accepts. So we should not be worried about that. We know the Minister will not do anything against the spirit of the law. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We are waiting on the Minister for you to bring us your draft proposal. Today. But we know for sure you will encourage and you will talk to CRSG not to implement until Parliament approves. Thank you very much. Honorable members,
I have the last one now to say thank you to all the members for this wonderful interaction. So remember, this is the reason why we need to all work together to have this document properly reviewed for the good of our country. Please, we count on you, please. Let us really be firm when it comes to review for all of our inputs to be captured. So that such a mistake will never happen again, sir.
Thank you very much. We are waiting for the documents, sir.
Hello? Yeah? okay. All right, okay. They call me back in at 55.
Free money, no sonko sonko.
So we went to New York and we showed them how we dance. But they never really got the moves until we gave them a start. And they, right before our eyes, they became Sierra Leone. Which goes to show, when you put Star in, the true flavor of Sierra Leone comes out. And back home, we were heroes.
AYV is your home of credible, factual and balanced news coverage. We pride ourselves as the nation's most trusted news source. Because of this, our brand is likely to be used to spread fake news. To verify our stories, please check our various social media pages, visit our website on www.ayvnews.com or send us an email to info@ayvnews.com.